Well, let's look at, I mean, you brought up the abortion issue. Let's think about that. The way I look at that is this is a really, really difficult issue. There's good people on both sides of this issue. But the reason it's so hard is because it pits competing values, right? On the one hand, I think most of us, certainly I and most people, believe it's an important value to give people individual autonomy, freedom with their own body. On the other hand, there's a very important value, which is to defend the sanctity of an innocent human life. In the case of abortion, these two come in conflict. And for me, when they come in conflict, I come down on the side of defending the sanctity of an innocent human life. And I acknowledge that this is a really difficult issue, and there are some circumstances that are so disturbing that I would accept exceptions to a prohibition, exceptions like in the case of rape and incest on the life of the mother. But what I think we ought to do with a contentious issue like this is look to see where is there common ground? Where can we find some agreement? So, as it happens, there's very, very broad agreement that we should at least ban very late-term abortion. So, you know, a baby that's 8 months along and kicking in her mother's womb probably shouldn't, most people agree, shouldn't conduct an abortion on that child. Also, taxpayer funding of abortion. Most people agree that for all of the reasons of the difficulty of this issue, we shouldn't force taxpayers to pay for something that they find so objectionable. That's something that I think is very reasonable. And again, the contrast with Katie McGinty is she is off the charts extremist. There's no cases in which an abortion can be restricted. She seems to be fully in support of taxpayer funding of abortion on demand. So I think, you know, my views on this are much closer to a consensus in Pennsylvania than hers.
This is one issue that hasn't really come up very much in recent elections, but since you say you're pro-life, where do you stand with the death penalty?
I think there's a difference between innocent human life and someone who has, you know, wantonly taken human life. And so I support the death penalty. But it's not the case.